So we had two different groups, one Carnatic and the other Hindustani. The Carnatic group used the composition Swara-Raga-Sudha, which is a quite a famous composition composed by Saint Tyagaraja in the raga Sankarabharanam, which is based on the major scale. And the sort of spirit of the composition is to really bring out the meaning of the song, which says that music in its purest form is sort of the nectar of life. It's our breath and it's the path towards eventual enlightenment. And so we kind of deconstruct Sankarabharanam a little bit and sort of bring out not only the very detailed nuances of the raga, but also sort of the bare bones of the scale itself and kind of celebrate its beauty that way. The other piece is based on the song Kuhu Kuhu, which is a very popular Hindi film song. And we've kind of adapted that song a little bit with some changes to kind of bring it out in a more classical form. So that's what the two compositions were. So that was a little challenging because I've been trained primarily as a Carnatic musician, not a Hindustani musician. But I had the benefit of working with really, really great Hindustani musicians. The kids were very excited about this particular song and sort of adapting it in their own way. And we also had a senior vocalist, Samarth Nagarkar, pitch in on Skype actually through one of our practice sessions to kind of give us some advice on how we could adapt that song, which is actually an extremely long song. It's about 7 minutes, down to a 3.5 minute piece, and imbue sort of the classicism into that. So I actually really enjoyed sort of being able to facilitate creative work in both the Carnatic and Hindustani forms, and I definitely learned a lot. So I think, that first question of sort of working across genres was very interesting. I think what I really learned through this experience, I also did the one in New York City a couple of months ago, was, how clutch these kids are. So when it really counts, they really put in all their energy and, do what it takes to bring a good product out. Late last night after our rehearsal, I think we were kind of feeling unsure about where one of the pieces was going, and I kind of felt a little uncomfortable on the way home. I was like, what's missing? And I was kind of rethinking through the structure of the piece and the parts, and I wasn't really sure how today was going to turn out, but then the energy that the kids brought today, the collaboration that they showed, the leadership that a lot of them took in terms of coaching each other, pointing out each other's areas for improvement, getting everyone organized and sort of focused on the task at hand. It was really impressive and heartening to see kind of them come together in such a mature way. And they're so talented musically, so I think it's those soft skills of collaboration and teamwork that kind of they needed to make this a complete product that could be created in a span of like less than 2 days. So I'm really proud of them. And even though it was extremely exhausting, I think we ended up with two very different but sort of complete in their own way and unique in their own way videos. So I'm really happy about it, and I'm excited to do more.
There were a lot of parts that I really liked about this experience, but my favorite part about this was getting to meet like new people, coordinating and making a final product that worked out in the end.
My favorite part was the fact that such a normally quiet instrument could, help produce such amazing music with, and I could help contribute to such an amazing song and meeting all these people, as well as getting the opportunity to do something I learned separately and put it into something else that I learned in another manner.
My teacher teaches like very, very classical music, so it was fun but also different.
I think coordinating with a lot of people was the biggest difficulty because, it's not like everyone is always singing the same thing, so you have to really understand everyone's part. So knowing your part and everyone else's part was a really big part of this, which is kind of different from normal music.
But at the same time, in normal music, you have a lot of rules and like regulations that you have to go. And this, you can just let go, and it's more of like a combination. Like you're free to try your ideas. That's what I really liked about this experience.
It's been a joy. So I don't have any formal training in South Indian percussion, but I played very little bit with other South Indian instruments, percussion, but I've actually never played with vocalists or string players or clarinetists until when we first met. So it's been a really great learning experience.
What this has taught me is that anything is really possible, because now that we have such classical music and making it modern and funky, why not, we can try this in another manner with other music as well, maybe just for fun.
I would ask my teacher to teach like this more often.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it was cool because in normal Carnatic music we don't really harmonize, and in this we harmonize, and it was cool.
I tell my teacher that I want to go back here again, and it's just fun working with a lot of people and getting your ideas out there and finally just collaborating and making a good project.
The one thing I do think in a group with peers who are passionate about music, who are willing to spend hours perfecting one line, when they sing for a competition or one aradhana, they're learning one song and they're in a vacuum learning it and just performing it. Here you're in a group, you have to deliberate on ideas, you have to come to a consensus, so they learn teamwork, they learn multiple things.
Yeah, they got to improvise. My daughters kept saying yesterday that, their ideas were taken in and they got to improvise, which I guess, they felt really good about. And it's a ragam they love, so they got lucky with that, and great experience. Just, I think as Raji was saying, just working with other kids on one particular thing helped them a lot.
I think I have very little to add after everything that they've said, but overall it's been an amazing experience because they actually feed into each other's imagination and they help each other do much better. They're much more receptive to, they actually check on each other to find out whether they're doing fine or not. So it's amazing. They get the reinforcement within the group. And it's tough to imagine that a child like this who's been structured, coached and whatever, can sit with a peer group and improvise on their own. So I think they imbibe a lot of energy from you.
Yeah, I guess they love working with you. That's so true. To start with, they feel like stars just sitting in the studio and having something recorded. And they did the IndianRaga Labs, a few months ago. So I think they've watched your video like 1,000,000 times, and then
so that's why it has 6,000 views. Okay.
and the grandparents, they've hit it like 5 times a day or something like that. So surely this make them feel better. And I think personally, what that did was help their confidence. I mean, they both what they sing at home and what they sing outside used to be different. I think this process helped them be a little more confident because they got to talk their views out, and that is what I needed out of it also, like just more confidence for them. So.
I think they learned it's an entire package. It's not just vocal, it's not just instrument. It's not how you look. It's everything that comes out of the music, and they realize that there's so many components to it. It's how you look, how you portray yourself, how happy you look. So the amount of retakes that it took is because they realized that when some of them were focusing on maybe how they perform, they forgot how they look. So it's amazing. It's all amplified. Whatever they do, it's amplified. So that's a big deal.
Yeah, I think I agree with what you said. On top of it, Rishi's definitely going to talk about the fog machine tonight. I'm going to hear about it for sure. But what he was saying yesterday itself is saying, Mom, for 4 minutes of video, we're practicing, 8-9 hours. So the effort it takes to do a video, an audio, everybody's arrangement itself, the vocal with the instruments, and giving everybody a chance, being fair, being, it's just a teamwork, and I think Roopa has done such a fantastic job. I was telling others too, like, if nothing, they should see your passion, sitting like with them for hours and just keeping up, still smiling at the end of it all. So that's important.
The kids enjoyed it. I know in a typical concert they probably will not be doing this, but it's again the whole concept of trying something new. When I told my kids that they have another option to do the labs, they said, "Oh, can we change ragas?" That was their first question. They were excited about it. So I don't know, they felt like they were doing something totally different. So again, the creativity aspect surely did, and the harmony too, harmonizing those lines, and they seem to enjoy it. So I'm okay with it.
It breaks away from the tradition a little bit, but it's definitely brings out the creativity in them, and it shows how one can flow to the other. So it's like bringing like a jazz kind of feeling into a traditional music. So they love hearing themselves going from one to the other.
And Kadana Kutugalam being a Janya Raga, the transition is not that doesn't stand out in any bad manner. So it's really nice that way, and they do a bit of ragam, bit of tanam, which are the real core of Carnatic music, and then the way they sing Swara-Raga-Sudha is not in any way diluted, it's just the same. And even Raghuvamsha-Sudha, the way they sing, the tune is that way in Carnatic music too. So it's without diluting, but kind of juxtaposing two different kinds of songs in Carnatic music itself.
One of my daughters has a very, stronger bass voice, so she was totally thrilled that she could go lower. And so I felt like her voice, I should probably think more about, what her real pitch should be, because this kind of made me feel like she's singing more confidently in like a lower pitch. So that is something for me to know. So I learned something, and they did have to adjust because they don't have the mridangam or something like that, but I felt like the teamwork part of it is probably what, like if they did the school play, they can't really do exactly what they want. They kind of all work together. So working together, I think they all did wonderfully well. And these kids were just amazing, the way they interacted with each other, so I think it worked out great. And thanks to you, Roopa, again, just handled them very well.
I think they really enjoyed it. I mean, I saw yesterday that they really enjoyed what he played, and I think he was also feeding off of the kids, and he's Juilliard grad in percussion who's come down to the level of the kids, and they can see that how he's trying to understand different kinds of lyam, and I think it's overall a great experience for them to see somebody who's going out of his comfort zone and learning something new, and they should do the same, they hopefully will do the same at some point.
It's truly a harmonized piece there, because it's all kids, like you said, with different shruti levels, trying to kind of work with each other at different, to come on a common scale. And then just because my son plays the clarinet, and with him, I know certain scales are easier than the others, and he spoke to his friends, and everybody I know has kind of gone out of their comfort zone to make it easy for each other. And when Jeremy walked in, it's with the new changes that came in, it's amazing how everybody just spoke to him and got everybody on on the same plane very quickly. To think that something like this was done, or I would say a full day, right? That's what it took. It's amazing. The output is, of course, your hard work and your energy. Definitely, I'll have to say that over and over again. But I think it definitely does not translate to it's amazing to think that it was all put together in